Hi, I'm Joseph Holmes, and this is Overthinking Films. Star Wars is really popular. No, even more popular than that. People love Star Wars so much, it makes Marvel movies look like DC movies. The Hobbit book look like the Hobbit movies. Makes Alfred Hitchcock, the director, seem like Alfred Hitchcock, the person. Star Wars is not just a movie franchise, it's a cultural heritage that people pass on from father to son. But why? What's the secret? Star Wars gives us back something that we as a human race once had and now we lost and desperately want to have back. Something to worship that binds us together as a community. First, for some history. To the Wayback Machine! For most of human history, human beings found something to worship, whether it was nature or God or the universe or Morgan Freeman's sultry voice.
I'm God.
Human beings would find something transcendent, something that filled them with awe, that was worthy of their praise and adoration. Culture was bound together by sharing that same object of ultimate worship. People would gather together in rooms and fireplaces and hear stories about why this thing was amazing and worthy of our praise, and how we would get to participate in it, either by being adopted into the family, or emulating their virtues, or getting voice lessons and crying in a corner because you realize you will never be able to speak as well as Morgan Freeman.
See? I told you.
But then the Black Plague happened. Religious wars happened. The things that we worshiped that we thought would save us became the problem. The things that we thought were going to unite us divided us. So we tried to find other things to worship that would unite us, like science, politics, race, which totally worked out. So we were left with nothing. Fast forward to the 20th century. Movies are a thing. Movies are the one thing that everybody watches, and everybody watches the same movies as they come out. But people don't consider this to be worship. It's entertainment. We're united by, what's going to make us laugh and cry and make us forget that we're all going to die. The philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche predicted this. He said that if people lost noble myths that told them they were a part of a cosmic drama that made life meaningful, then they would be reduced to the last man who only existed to work, have sex, and die. Basically the first act of American Beauty. Remember when the characters Kevin Spacey played would try to get consent from his underage crushes? Good times. But even in movies that were entertainment, people gravitated towards worshipful movies. Movies that had some kind of object of awe, great heroes with epic scenes that they could be dropping their jaws to the floor in and cheer for. But all was always simply just one part of these stories, and usually the object of awe and the heroes would turn out to not be so great or worthy of worship after all at the end. Then came the summer blockbuster. Steven Spielberg invented the summer blockbuster with Jaws. The summer blockbuster was the first movie genre that was all about awe. It was all about wowing you with special effects and larger-than-life heroes and epic scenes and battles. While other movie genres made you scared of what awed you, like in horror, or cynical of what awed you, like in dramas like Lawrence of Arabia, summer blockbusters were pure childlike wonder and adoration. If awe in movies before was like marijuana baked into a brownie, then awe in the summer blockbuster was pure Walter White blue powdered meth.
You're goddamn right.
It also just about broke every box office record there was. But Star Wars did something even more. Star Wars, yes, gave us the giant battleships, zooming into hyperspace, giant, TIE fighter battles, and good versus evil, and hero rescuing a princess that we all love. But it also reminded us why We wanted those things. Star Wars told the story of an ordinary boy who thought he lived in a world without wonder, where all that would be left was to live on his farm, work, consume, and die. And then an old man comes to him and tells him that he's actually part of a cosmic drama of good versus evil that he gets to be the hero of. That the old discredited religion is really true. That the world is a magical, vast place of great transcendent wonder that he gets to participate in. This part of the story is a huge theme in a lot of the most popular movies of this era. Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark, Last Crusade, The Exorcist. These are all movies about a cynic who finds out that the Judeo-Christian faith of the past actually is true. But what Star Wars has that those movies don't is that it's totally fictional. The Force is made up. That means that everything that Star Wars does, the themes of light and dark and the Force, is so broad that it doesn't matter what you really believe, you can get something out of this. You can see the Force as a metaphor for God or for the universe or just courage. Although that would be kind of lame, but you could still do it. That means for the first time, Jews and Christians and Muslims and atheists and young and old, animal, vegetable, mineral can all sit down and be awed by and cheer for the same thing. We have a story that binds us all together as a community again. A story that has references that we all get.
Use the Force, Luke.
Do or do not. There is no try.
I love you.
I know.
No. I am your father.
Do you know how famous these moments are? I didn't have to put spoilers around any of this. I can say, God bless you, and people freeze up. I say, may the Force be with you, and everyone smiles. Nietzsche made the point that it would take a lie in order for us to have something to worship together. Of course, he meant it because he thought there was nothing actually in the world worth worshiping, or a story that was true that could inspire us this way. But it's also true because a lie is the only thing, because we all know it's a lie, we're all willing to suspend our disbelief and enjoy it together. But because we know it's not real, it makes our community very thin. Whenever an election happens, everyone always sees Emperor Palpatine and the Empire as what the other guys will be like when they get into office. So it really just disguises the division that is in there and growing. And that's just the way it is. Star Wars is so loved because it speaks to our deepest desires to have something to worship and a story worth being a part of that we can all share as a community together. It's no substitute for having something real that can do all those things. But it's the best we can do right now. Still, I'm optimistic. Why? Because I remember what Obi-Wan said in Star Wars: A New Hope. Before anybody says, may the Force be with you, Obi-Wan actually says something completely different.
The Force will be with you, always.
And I believe it. Hey, thanks for watching. If you like this video, click like and subscribe down there to my YouTube channel. Also, go to my Patreon page to support me making more videos like this. I'll be so grateful. I won't even make cheesy Star Wars references about how you should like and subscribe to my YouTube channel and go to my Patreon page. Like, this is the YouTube channel you're looking to support on Patreon. Or,
Subscribe or subscribe not. There is no try.
Sorry, that's it. That's the last one. I find your lack of subscription disturbing. Dang it!